Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to the day 19 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season. I'm gonna be doing something a bit different today. Instead of going through everything that happened yesterday, I'm just gonna use everything that happened yesterday as inspiration for this video, which is the most surprising things that have happened so far this season. Honestly, who isn't surprised? Even if you're a Raptors fan, you have to admit that DeMar DeRozan's performance so far this season has exceeded your expectations. The man is going out there giving you 34 points a night on better than 50% shooting, and if you can honestly sit there and say that you expected this from him this year, you're lying. Last year he was an all-star, right? Last year he was still a really good shooting guard. He was averaging like 23-24 points per game on 44% shooting from the field. That's respectable. He was a really good player, but the one knock on him was his consistency. He wasn't consistent and he wasn't necessarily efficient either. So consistency and efficiency. He's been nothing but consistent and efficient so far this year. He's only had one game so far this season where he failed to score at least 30 points. If I had to pick a player at the beginning of the season who I thought was going to win the scoring title this year, I'm just going to be honest with you, it wouldn't have been DeMar DeRozan. They're what inspired me to make this video. Look, the Lakers are 6-4, and it's not just because they won yesterday. Look, they blew out the Pelicans yesterday, which actually is impressive, because the Pelicans, even though they've been really bad this season, they haven't been getting blown out. But the Lakers straight up blew them out last night. And no one expected the Lakers to be this good at the beginning of the season. I'm not saying that they're a great team, but they are much better than people give them credit for. People are still overlooking the fact that they're 6-4. Hats off to Luke Walton, though. He actually proved that he's a great coach. I didn't give him much credit last year when he was with the Warriors, considering that Warriors team had just won a championship. We already knew they were really good. So when he filled in for Steve Kerr last year, I didn't give much credit to Luke Walton, but now that I see that he's winning with his Lakers team as well, mad props to Luke Walton. I actually think the Lakers have a chance of making the playoffs here. You look at the teams that are basically a lock to make the playoffs out west. You know, you got the Clippers, you got the Warriors, the Spurs, the Thunder, the Jazz, the Trailblazers, and the Rockets, but then that 8th seed is still wide open. And the Grizzlies seem to have been struggling a bit this season, so the only other teams you have to compete with now are the Kings, the Nuggets, the Suns, the Mavericks, the Timberwolves, and the Pelicans. So yeah, I honestly do think the Lakers could wind up in the playoffs this year, which is great because they'll get some playoff experience since they have no reason to be bad this year since they don't have their 2017 first round draft pick. I talked about them yesterday, and it is a surprise. The Hornets were a pretty good team last year, but they lost Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin was a huge part of the team last year. He was the sixth man, a potential sixth man of the year. And then of course he went to the Brooklyn Nets, and I thought the Hornets would struggle a little bit just because of that, but no, they're actually better this year. Kemba Walker has been beasting this year. They got Michael Kidd-Gilchrist back, which I think has a big part to do with this. He was injured all of last year, so they got him back. He is a defensive stud, myself included, but people overlooked him when it came to defensive player of the year. Everyone was just so quick to list guys like Kawhi Leonard, Draymond Green, but no one really listed Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, and I think if he can stay healthy, he has a huge chance to win it. On the year so far, he's averaging like 8 points, 8 rebounds, almost 2 steals, and a block per game. So you're getting some really nice defense from him. He's just gonna go out there in the court and do everything. And then of course you got Nick Batum, one of the most underrated players in the NBA. I mean, every team wants Nick Batum on their team. The Charlotte Hornets are just a really, really good team overall. I said it yesterday, but I highly suggest if you haven't watched the Hornets yet, to watch the Hornets for a game or two. They will impress you. I didn't think Joel Embiid would be this good so fast. Joel Embiid has been a freaking monster. Right now he's averaging like 18.6 rebounds and a little over 2 blocks per game. And that's all in very limited minutes. He still can't play back-to-backs. You saw that last night when he rested. And he can only play like 20 to 24 minutes a game. He's giving you these kind of numbers. He is the freaking truth right now. I mean, this man is gonna be so scary in a few years, it's not even funny. What kind of man that's built as big as he is? I mean, that is a huge man. Dominate in the post, like absolutely dominate in the post. And then he can step out and knock down threes too. It's just crazy when you think of how high the ceiling is for Joel Embiid. I finally know what they meant when they said trust the process for Philly. The process was Joel Embiid healing. That was the process. I know a lot of you are surprised that this team is on the list, but look, the Atlanta Hawks are 7-2. No one expected the Atlanta Hawks to be this good this season. They are looking extremely, extremely good. And people wrote them off because look, they weren't too great last year. They got swept out of the second round by the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, people thought they were a good team, but just mad. But now they look actually really, really good. They gave the Cavs their only loss of the season so far this year. They're 7-2, and Dwight Howard and Dennis Schroeder have proven to be upgrades over Jeff Teague and Al Horford. Dwight Howard is doing the two things the Atlanta Hawks needed Al Horford to do: block and rebound. Those are the two things that Dwight Howard can specialize in. He doesn't need to even score the ball that much, but he'll give you some offense anyways. Kent freaking Bazemore has been amazing for the Hawks this year. His defense has been outstanding. He's almost giving you 2 steals per game, but it's not just about the steals. Like, if you watch him play, he is locking down his man. Kent Bazemore is a pest on the perimeter. He was huge in that game against the Cavs. If any of you watched that game, Kent Bazemore was huge in their win against the Cavs. Not even just about that late shot he hit at the end of the game to basically seal it, but just his defense, and he also gets you like 6 rebounds and 3 assists that game. So he had like 25.6 rebounds and 3 assists and played some great defense that game. This Atlanta Hawks team is basically like the Charlotte Hornets too. Another really good team that people aren't quite noticing yet. And that's it, yo. Those are the 5 things that I'm most surprised so far about this season. And I know a lot of people were expecting to see the Thunder on this list, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not surprised about the Oklahoma City Thunder. I already knew they were gonna be a playoff team in the West, and that's basically what they are right now. So I'm not surprised about the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm not surprised about Russell Westbrook. One thing I wish I could fit on this list is James Harden. Actually, I'm gonna make this the top 6 things, yo. James Harden. Yo, James Harden at point guard, I did not expect it to be this good. He is almost averaging a triple-double. He is on pace to be the first player since Oscar Robertson to do the things that he's doing this year. He's just been doing absolutely amazing things this year. So that's it. Those are the top 6 things, I guess, that have surprised me so far this season. Hope you guys liked the video, and also let me know if you guys want to see the things I'm most disappointed about this season. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and you guys already know I'll be right back here tomorrow. So until then, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!